There was a moment in his life that no one else noticed. No loud fight, no dramatic breakup, no announcement. Just a quiet realization that sat heavily in his chest one evening. He was sitting in his car, staring at nothing. And for the first time in years, he asked himself a question he had been avoiding. Am I actually ready for marriage? Or do I just like the idea of it? Because the truth is, most people don't prepare for marriage. They prepare for a wedding. The photos, the suits, the celebration, the applause, but marriage starts the day after the applause disappears. And that night, he began to see things differently. A few years earlier, he believed love could carry everything. He believed love was strong enough to survive anything. Money problems, stress, family pressure, personal insecurities. He thought if two people loved each other deeply enough, everything else would figure itself out. But life slowly started showing him something uncomfortable. Love can start a relationship, but love alone cannot sustain a life. He remembered a conversation he once had with a married man. The man was calm, quiet, the kind of person who had seen enough of life. They were sitting together after a long day. And the man said something simple: marriage is beautiful. But it is also heavy. He laughed back then. Heavy. Marriage was supposed to be happiness, romance, companionship. But the older man continued, you don't enter marriage with the person you are today. You enter marriage with every version of yourself you have not yet healed. That sentence didn't make sense to him back then. But now, years later, it suddenly did. Because emotional maturity is invisible. No one celebrates it. No one posts it online. But the lack of it can quietly destroy a marriage. He began noticing things about himself. How easily he became defensive during arguments. How difficult it was for him to apologize sincerely. How sometimes his pride was louder than his love. And he realized something uncomfortable. He had been dreaming about marriage. Without preparing his character for it, then came the second realization. The one most people don't like talking about: money. Not because marriage is about money, but because financial instability brings pressure. And pressure reveals the true version of people. Bills arrive, unexpected problems happen, responsibilities grow. And suddenly love is no longer the only thing sitting at the dinner table. Stress sits there too, expectations sit there too, responsibility sits there too, and he asked himself another honest question: can I carry the weight of another person's life with mine? Because marriage is not just two hearts joining, it is two realities merging. Two families, two pasts, two emotional histories, two financial responsibilities, and sometimes two sets of unspoken wounds. But the deepest realization came from somewhere more spiritual. He began thinking about something his grandmother once said. She used to say, marriage is not just a promise between two people, it is a responsibility before God. Back then, those words sounded old-fashioned. But now they felt serious, because commitment is not just about feelings. Feelings change. Feelings rise and fall like weather. But commitment requires something deeper: discipline, patience, forgiveness, and sometimes the strength to stay when emotions disappear. That is where spiritual readiness enters the picture. Not religion as performance, but inner stability. The ability to lead a home with peace instead of chaos. The ability to control anger before it damages love. The ability to choose loyalty even when life becomes difficult. And that evening in his car, he realized something powerful. Marriage is not a reward for being in love. Marriage is a responsibility for becoming someone dependable, and dependability is built quietly. When no one is watching, when no one is praising you, when you are slowly becoming the kind of person someone can trust their entire life with. He thought about his future wife, the woman he had not yet met, or maybe the woman already in his life, and he asked himself a final question. If someone trusted me with their future today, would I be ready, not ready to love, ready to protect peace, ready to lead with humility, ready to carry responsibility without resentment? Because marriage is not about finding the perfect person. It is about becoming the kind of person who can handle imperfect seasons, sickness, financial challenges, family tension, moments of misunderstanding, moments of exhaustion, moments when both people must choose patience over ego. And the truth most people avoid is this: marriage does not fix immaturity, marriage reveals it. Marriage does not remove insecurity, marriage exposes it. Marriage does not automatically create stability. It demands it, so that night, he made a quiet decision. Not to rush into marriage because of pressure. Not to marry just because everyone else was doing it. Not to marry just because he felt lonely, but to prepare, to grow emotionally, to strengthen himself spiritually, to build financial discipline, to become the kind of man whose presence creates safety, not confusion. Because real love is not just about finding someone. Real love is about becoming someone worth building a life with. And the day he understood that, marriage stopped being a romantic dream and became something much more meaningful, a responsibility, a partnership, a sacred commitment between two people who are both prepared to carry life together. Not perfectly, but maturely. And maybe the real question isn't, when will I get married? Maybe the real question is, am I becoming the kind of person a healthy marriage requires? Because when two prepared people meet, marriage is not a burden. It becomes one of the most powerful partnerships life can offer. If this story made you think differently about marriage, then maybe you're already beginning the most important preparation of all, becoming ready.